Hello everyone, my name is Havian and today I'll be talking to you all about Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. It has taken me a while to actually get this video put together for a number of reasons, but now it is time to share all the Fatal Bullet related info I've found since the last video I've made. The first bit of news is that Filia, Rain, Argo and Daisy have been announced for the game. You would know this if you've been following me on Twitter. I did announce that a while ago, and it has been posted on a few news sites as well. But I did say that more characters were going to get announced in January. So for those of you that were asking where these characters were, here they are. All it takes is a little bit of patience. But there are some characters they still haven't announced. But at this point I don't know if they're actually going to be in the game right now. And if you're wondering who Daisy is, she's an Arthasist, but she belongs to Zeliska. I'm not sure how many other characters within the game actually have their own Arthasist apart from your character in Zeliska, but at least we know that they have one. And in this game, Filia can equip a sword and a sniper rifle, Rain dual wields submachine guns and she has a shotgun, and Argo can use handguns and a shotgun. You'll also be able to buy information from Argo, but at this time I'm not too sure what that kind of information does or what kind of information you can buy from her, but just know you can get some information from her that will lead to something. More information was also released about crafting and equipment. When you kill enemies or complete quests, you can obtain recipes. These recipes can be used when you're enhancing your equipment and they have different effects depending on the recipe. Each weapon can be enhanced twice, and these enhancements are shown on a weapon by the extra plus sign that will be next to their weapon's name. So for the first enhancements it will have 1 plus sign, and for the second enhancement it will have 2 plus signs next to its name. But I'm not sure if these enhancements on a weapon can be overwritten once they've already been added. So you might want to be careful when it comes to adding enhancements to a weapon if it has really good rolls on it. You might want to save those weapons for some of the better recipes. In a previous video I did speak about weapon transformation and the additional items that you would need for transformation. Back then I wasn't too sure what those items were, but now the information has been revealed. Those items are transformation chips and unlocking chips. The transformation chips are used by Elizabeth to attach memory chips to a weapon. And if you remember in one of my past videos, memory chips are some of the random effects that can be added onto a weapon when they drop. And the unlocking chips are used to unlock sealed memory chips. When you get a weapon, sometimes the memory chips are locked, so you will need to use the unlocking chips to remove that lock. But it has been said that you can only replace half of the memory chips on a weapon with unlocking chips. So you will need to keep half of the memory chips that a weapon comes with. So that means that luck is still going to play a huge part in finding yourself a really good weapon, since you need to find one that has a good set of memory chips to use as a foundation for all of your upgrading. And from the looks of things, all of this weapon enhancing and transformation is going to be pretty expensive. But the developers have said that there's going to be a lot of ways in the game to earn money. But to go along with all the ways to earn money, they did say there were going to be other things that require a lot of money as well. So balancing your spending is going to be important in this game. Another thing that was shown was what can be done inside of your room. In your room you'll be able to access your storage box so you can store and sell items. You'll also be able to re-customize your avatar and set some of your skills and gadgets. And there also seems to be an option to save and load customization presets for your character's appearance. And one thing that lots of you may be happy to know is that you can recolor your weapons and your outfits when you progress a little bit further into the game. And it does look like there are a few different sections on each weapon and on each outfit that you can recolor. So when they said that you have a lot of freedom to customize your character in the way you want, I think they were actually being serious this time. And another question I've been asked that relates to avatars is how many character slots do we have? And from what I've seen, it looks like we have 4 character slots this time. These characters will need to be leveled individually, but one thing I'm not sure about is whether or not they will share the same storage and story progress, or whether or not they will need to be done independently. And since we're talking about things you can do in your room, 3 more bed scenes were shown. This time they were for Elizabeth, Yuki and Silica. It's still been said that the original Sword Art Online characters will have these scenes in Kirito mode, and the original game characters will have these scenes in the main game, but I guess we'll need to wait until the game's out before we can actually see what happens for sure. And since no romance system like in the previous games have been revealed at this point, I'll guess that these scenes are going to be something that accompanies some kind of a personal quest or a cutscene for those particular characters. I believe it was mentioned that these scenes are going to be based on how familiar you are with some of the characters, so maybe you raise that familiarity by doing quests for them or having them in your party during missions. I don't know, we'll find out soon. And just like in Hollow Realization, there will be fast travel to access different locations that you visited before. And it does seem like this game will have more of an emphasis on dungeons compared to the previous games. Since this game is a looter shooter, the ease of accessing drop loot is important. If loot does get dropped by an enemy, it will be drawn towards your character. But if loot does manage to fall out of bounds for some particular reason or into an inaccessible area, you will still get the drop automatically. During the storyline, you can only play as the main character and Kirito. The other characters are going to be playable after an update, but that will be within some kind of dedicated mode with PvP and PvE. I'm not too sure what this mode is going to be, but I did have a bit of a feeling they'll do something like this after it said in one of the trailers that the other characters will be playable after an update. In one of my live streams, I did speculate that the game would have some kind of a hero mode, where the characters would have fixed skills and abilities, and they'll be available in some kind of a dedicated game mode. I'm sure we'll see what this game mode actually is a bit closer to release, since there is going to be an early access playtest for the characters Peter Hui and Len at a Sword Art Online event in Japan. Now, in terms of the base game, it was said in the interview I'd done with the producer that the game would roughly be the same size as Hollow Realization, and it was said recently that the game is going to be roughly 80% single player and 20% multiplayer, and there's going to be roughly 40 to 50 online missions with different difficulty tiers. I have no idea if every online PvE mission focuses on boss fights, or if they're going to be quests in more open areas or dungeons, but from the looks of things, you won't be able to roam the world map with people in multiplayer. But they have said this is something they may consider. The single player portion will also have difficulty options that can be accessed from the main menu. I'm not sure how these difficulties will affect the game outside of the obvious damage changes, but I'm sure we're going to find out soon. It was also mentioned in the latest developer stream that there was going to be some kind of support for Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. If I had to guess, that support would probably help the game run at a stable frame rate and help with the loading of textures that seem to pop up during some of the preview gameplays that we've seen so far. But it has been said that the support may not include 4K resolutions on console. A few more things worth mentioning is it does seem like this game will have branching paths during the story and multiple endings. And they have said that they plan on supporting this game with updates for at least another 6 months after the release of the game. And for those of you that are still asking, yes, you can turn off the aim assist in the game if you want to turn it off. It's an option. You can push one button on the D-pad to just turn it on or off. And in terms of new news and information, that's what I have for you today. But since there is another developer stream happening this week, and since there is a Bandai Namco live stream happening today, expect to hear some more news from me in the next few days. So far this game is looking very promising, and if the game does end up being good, I'll be doing my part to make sure the game has an active community. And since people have been asking, I will be playing the Japanese beta once it starts, so expect to see a lot of videos and streams of the game from the start of February. So if you can, make sure you set yourself a little reminder for the 1st of February, because I will be streaming from then. I usually stream most days from 12 PM GMT on Twitch, but once I start Fatal Bullet, I'll be sure to post some notifications to let you know I'm live on YouTube as well. So make sure you click that bell next to the subscriber button, follow me on Twitch, and tell everyone that you know would be interested in this game to keep an eye on my channels for everything Fatal Bullet related. And for everyone that did follow my archive channel that I put all my past streams onto, I probably won't be uploading anything else on there. With all these new changes that YouTube seems to be throwing out, I need to make sure I focus on just this YouTube channel, since you never know what kind of barriers or changes they're going to make next that will have a large impact. So I've got to focus on this one. But thanks for following me over there as well anyway, you're good people. And before I forget, this is something that's actually pretty important that I'm sure a lot of you are going to make use of. It's something I've been working on for the past week or so. All the information that I've been collecting related to Fatal Bullet from the start, I've used it and put it together inside of a little wiki. It just started as a few notes just so I could keep track of things while I played the game personally, but since loads of you would want to see this kind of information, I've decided to share it with everyone. You can take a look at the skills, weapons, outfits, accessories, and any other things that I found so far. I'll be keeping it updated as I play the game, but feel free to use all this information in any way that you want. If you need it for guides, or if you want to use it as a reference, or if you want to use it to start your own wiki, take it, go ahead. Go ahead and use it, do it any way you want. For a game like this, sharing information is key to creating a healthy community, so there's no point in me just holding on to information that I know and keeping it to myself. And for those of you that do use Twitch or plan on watching Twitch once the game is released, head over and give the streaming community a follow. The Sword Art Online streaming community already has over 320 followers, which is a lot more than I expected since the game isn't even out yet. I'm hoping that the community will grow into something great over time, but Fatal Bullet will be the first step of that. Well then, that's all the information I have for you now, but as always, when I come across new information, I'll be sure to pass it on to you. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it if you want to see more. If you want to view my live streams, then follow me on Twitch. And if you want to stay up to date with everything I'm doing, then be sure to follow me on Twitter. You can find the links to things in the description. I'll be making some more videos very soon, but until I make those videos, I'll see you all later.